After being deliberately excluded, Ayo Edebiri answers a question about the political stance of the hashtag MeToo and Black Lives Matter movement with poison grace after the Hunt press in Venice. And I guess like this was somewhat controversial. Like people were reacting to this. I didn't actually watch the full clip before, but I saw it on my timeline. I don't know what it was about.
What we lost during the politically correct era, and what we have to expect in Hollywood after the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matters are done. The two of you, Andrew and Julia.
Wait, is it? Are you supposed to say Ayo instead of Ayo? I didn't know how to say it correctly. That's a crazy way to ask that question. Just the two of you, not the black one, is a wild way to, like, she's right there. That's crazy. Only the white ones, please. I am. Which outlet is this, dude? What the fuck? Wait, we got to run this question back. That's crazy. What is happening, bro?
What we lost during the politically correct era, and what we have to expect in Hollywood after the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matters are done. The two of you, Andrew and Julia.
Well, okay.
Can you repeat that? And I with your sunglasses on, I can't tell which of us you're talking to. So
the question was for Julia and Andrew. Mm-hmm. Now that the Me Too era and the Black Lives Matters are done, what we have to expect in Hollywood, and what we lost, if we lost something with the politically correct era.
Well,
Europeans are so funny to me. Not like, obviously, I'm not talking about, like, there are obviously very cool and very good European comrades out there. Okay. Make no mistake. Many of them are in here. I'm literally wearing, the Jezza on my chest right now. But the average liberal, or like the average like normie in Europe, and their politics, especially as it pertains to like American politics, is so distorted from the way that we think about Europeans in general, because they have like some semblance of social democratic provisions. So we always automatically assume that they're just more woke than we are. There's this understanding in America. There is this understanding in the United States of America that like the Euros are more woke. UK, not Europe. Yeah, shut up. It's a part of the European continent. What is this? UK is not a part of Europe shit. Like, what are we talking about? They are still a part of the continent, okay? Just because they're not a part of the fucking EU doesn't mean that they're not a part of the continent. Shut up. Brexit fans are so stupid. They literally think like Brexit meant that it's now what? America? Which continent is it a part of now? Is it its own thing? Anyway, Brexit means Brexit, love. Brexit means Brexit. It's not Europe. It's not Europe. Anyway, the woman asking the question is obviously not British either. If you ask like I don't know, like a French person, like their opinion on Me Too during the Me Too era, you would get a very different perspective. You know what I mean? If you ask like Europeans about like what kind of racism is taking place in America, they have a very different perspective than you would expect. It's not so woke. Okay. It's not woke at all, as a matter of fact. But here,
sorry, I know that that's not for me, and I don't know if it's purposeful if it's not me, but I just am curious. I don't think it's done. I agree with you. It's not done. I don't think it's done at all. I think maybe hashtags might not be used as much, but I do think that there's work being done by activists, by people every day. That's beautiful, important work. That's not finished. That's really, really, really active. For a reason, because this world is really charged. Yeah. And that work isn't finished at all. Maybe if there's like not. Yeah,
she DSA, by the way.
Mainstream coverage in the way that there might have been daily headlines in the way that it might have been 8 or so years ago. But I don't think that it means that the work is done. That's what I would say.
And that the movements have been halted anyway.
Yes.
Like the movements are still absolutely alive, as you say, just maybe not as
like, I don't know about Julia Roberts' politics, but like I know that's a swagged out white boy. Mashallah, Andrew Garfield, found the light of Allah, said the Shahada. He's a part of the Ummah, okay? He is welcome to what would be the Muslim equivalent of a cookout? I don't even know. He's a beloved figure as well. I guess iftar, yeah. He's welcome to the iftar. He's welcome. He's welcome at every iftar dinner.
Labeled
labeled or
covered.
covered. Yeah, or like witnessed as or kind of magnified as much in this present moment.
The question was, what was lost in the woke era to political correctness? She said, now that BLM and Me Too is done, what do you think was lost in the politically correct era in Hollywood? Which is an insane question to ask. Anyway, Federica Polidoro, Italian journalist Federica Polidoro, who excluded Hayo Hedabiri from a BLM and Me Too question to Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield at the Venice Film Festival, has issued a statement on Instagram. She said, following an interview, I have been subjected to personal insults and attacks because of a question that, for some reason, was not well received by some members of the public. I find it striking that those who unjustly accuse me of racism and consider themselves custodians of justice find acceptable violent language, personal attacks, and cyberbullying. I would like to clarify that rather than focusing on the thoughtful responses of Ayo Edabiri, Julia Roberts, and Andrew Garfield, the discussion continues solely on how I should phrase the question. All of the contributions from those present were reported in the fully published interview without any omissions. Oh, thanks. She's like, what? I heard the black one and I put it in the article. What more do you want from me? Mamma mia. What? I did not want to hear from someone from Sicily. And I still put it. I still put it in the article, in the final article. What do you want me to do? And nowadays, you can't be a fan of Lazio no more. The Wokes has a big fan of Lazio. Of course, I do not want to hear from someone from Sicily. To date, I am not aware of any protocols that dictates the order in which questions must be asked in an interview. Censoring or delegitimizing questions considered uncomfortable does not fall within the practice of democracy. Only the Journalists Association is authorized to evaluate the work of professionals in the field, not social media tribunals. To those who unjustly accuse me of racism, I would like to clarify that in my work I have interviewed people of every background and ethnicity, and my own family is multi-ethnic. There are people who actually live in southern Italy. Not Sicily, but at least southern Italy. How dare you? We are very diverse. People from Napoli, okay? And people from Rome as well. For the record, she retweets a ton of racist shit. Chatters, I could tell that by just how she reacted to this, or even how she asked that question. That is the least surprising. There is genuine racism from Northern Italians towards Southern Italians in Italy, no joke. No, I know. That's why I'm making that joke, Chatter. I know. Anyway, I like that her response was, I've interviewed people that are black before. And even in this instance, I interviewed someone, I at least didn't omit the black person's answer. To those who unjustly accuse me of racism, I would like to clarify. My own family is multi-ethnic, matriarchal, and feminist with a significant history of immigration. I have collaborated for over 20 years with numerous national and international publications of all political orientations, always approaching my work with openness and professional rigor. In my view, the real racists are those who see racism everywhere. I love that. That's my favorite, dude. The real racism is those who call out the racism. And that's a spicy meatball. To seek to muzzle journalism, limiting freedom of analysis, critical thinking, and the plurality of perspectives. Journalism's role to ask questions, even on delicate topics, with respect and responsibility. I will not tolerate or accept defamatory or violent language, and I reserve the right to seek legal protection against those who, in recent days, have chosen to hide behind a digital mob to insult and attack me instead of seeking a civil and constructive discussion. Federica Polidoro. And of course, she follows JD Vance on 3 different accounts, it seems, which is crazy. That's not one. If it was one account, I get it. You're a journalist, you're following political figures and stuff, but 3, you're a stan at that point. And also JD Vance. It's crazy. So apparently Federica is a checks note in the bio, Golden Globes voter, and covered the Venice Film Festival for The Hollywood Reporter, and they repost Islamophobic reels on their social. Really great. It's the least shocking thing. At Communism Survivor, FBI agent John Guandolo explains the purpose of Islam. I mean, this is just the most white feminist Italian racist activity I've ever seen. What a story. What a story.